that ice wall out.
Oh, they pull in Darian, who is not that tanky yet. Gotta get lucky, goes down. Oh, Darian gets a nice ult into the backline just to stop the fight. But meanwhile, they go back in. Tardis is extremely low. So many blinking red health bars. And gotta get lucky is just gonna try to clean it all up. But he can't find enough. He's all alone now. Phoenix, what a fight. They just don't have the damage. Gotta get lucky. Goes down. He trades his life for Darian. Watch up top laner is back now. Both Nexus turrets are gone. Fat Lee is just hitting the Nexus. He goes down. Hort Swimmer trying to finish it. He needs 2 more auto attacks. And Hohenheim is the one who finishes it off. Phoenix, excellent.
But it does deal significant turret damage. Now they're going to grab Ash away here. Pushed a little too far forward. Kind of surprised considering the Mortars right there. Prowler might be in trouble too. Big team play here. But on the other hand, the fight could be turning around. A lot of damage coming in. Your big team stun. Stunned mid laners makes all the difference. But you gotta do this right now. Here it comes. It's gonna land on Brandana. That is huge. Sniped from Ace. This is gonna get worse. Inhibitor has been taken out. Dragosaurus may get killed. They are gonna get Baron though. All right, and what more can you say than what was in that video? Well, we're going to try to figure it out. Welcome, everyone, to the LCUS Split 4 Finals. My name is Kenos, and I'll be joined tonight by an all-star cast of the community to go over what we have seen in this past split and prepare us for Option 12 versus Phoenix. To do this, we are having the League Memes Analyst Desk, sponsored by League Memes, which is a gaming community focusing on League of Legends, posting great League content. If you want to go check them out, you can click the blue badge with the red L below, or go to facebook.com/7chickenwings. While you're there, you can check out their Discord or their store at www.store.leaguememe.com. Thanks again to Winglows for sponsoring this analyst desk. Now, on the analyst desk, we have 4 members of the LCUS who you know very well. We have Nickelbacher. How you doing, Nickel?
I'm doing fantastic, especially after watching that amazing video.
Excellent.
Cannot, like you were saying, can't follow that. Can't follow it up.
All right, joining Nickel and his wonderful grasp of the English language, we have Huge. How's it going, Huge?
Can't complain. Doing pretty good.
Excellent. And Chaosix. How's it going?
Doing great. Blood's pumping after watching that video.
Excellent. And then we should have Sigtao Lord if he's not here yet. He will be soon.
Oh, I'm here.
Excellent.
And I'm just coming to terms. Oh.
It'll be okay.
That's right.
Okay.
Sigtao, of course, who we all know from Northern Storm. Now then, without further ado, we'll leave it over to Nickel to break down what we're going to be seeing for the next couple of hours.
All right. Thank you, Kanos. So, boys, tonight, and ladies that are watching and playing, we got Option 12 versus Phoenix. This is the analyst desk brought to you by League Memes. Make Tark Jungle a thing. First and foremost, I think I'll go down the list and just really start it off with a big bang. And I'll start with you, Sig. Option 12 versus Phoenix. Who do you think is going to take the title?
I've put my reputation on the line for a week now. I called it out on the podcast. If you go back, subscribe to our YouTube channel, check out Top versus Bot. I called it out there, and I'm going to do it again. This is going to be a best of 5, and genuinely one of the best ofs in LCUS history. It's going to Game 5, and it's going to Phoenix. We're going to look at repeat champions.
All right, all right. Huge, what about yourself? What do you think about these two teams, these two titans?
I'm gonna have to toss it over to Option 12. I think they have a lot more win conditions than Phoenix does, and yeah, I think that they'll just probably end up 3-0ing. To be honest.
All right, all right. So you'll be fighting Sig after the stream. So look forward to that, folks. Place your bets now. And then finally, Chaos 6.
Yeah,
what do you think, my man?
I think this is going to be pretty close each game, but the one who's going to eke it out in the end is going to be Option 12. I think they're going to put Phoenix in Ouchtown.
Ooh. And I'd hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm probably going to make this analyst desk even Stevens. I actually think that Phoenix is going to pull it out. They're going to rise up. And by the way, people, if you're drinking at home for the drinking game shots, Phoenix is going to rise out of the ashes and going to take the win. I believe that they have come together as a team over the course of the entire split, it's really amazing seeing this team come out. But I do have to say that Eugene Chaos X do make good points. That option 12 has a very good team play, macro play, as we say. But it's going to be close. It's not going to be a shutout, I don't think. I think we're in for a long night, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I'll just leave it open to anybody else. Do you think that anybody's been kind of practicing off-color things? We know that Phoenix has been notorious for the last split, just bringing out random things, as it were, but seem to be working. Does anybody think that they're going to be bringing out something else tonight? Sig?
I'm of the strong opinion that we are going to see a very diverse champion pool tonight. We could see some of these niche picks. I think we're gonna see that fiddle mid. I think there's a good chance for that Alvin Jungle to come again because it's got an incredible win rate. There's a lot of potentials, but again, I think the stalwarts of this are going to be, for example, like Fat Lee. I think we're going to see the Amumu come out, the Udyr come out. We're going to see those stalwart picks that allow him to carry to every strong match victory that he's had over the past 4 splits of the LCUS that he did participate in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Some more of the same. Chaos 6, it looked like you wanted to say something.
Well, I do think Phoenix is going to be the ones to pull out, I guess not meta picks, if you want to call it that. They seem to be more comfortable with, kind of throwing a little chaos in there. Pun not intended.
Nudge, nudge.
Yeah.
Wink,
Option 12, though, I think they're going to stick with what they know because they've been really good at it. They have a pedigree of winning, and why change that? I expect to see, a tank in the top lane, somebody who can engage, Prowler probably on like Nocturne unless it gets banned out. And those two I'm really looking forward to seeing. I think they kind of dictate how the flow of the game goes
for sure.
For option 12.
Yeah. And just more of the same. That's really been option 12's MO for this past split. Just if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And it hasn't broken for them much over this past split. But we'll have to see what happens with Phoenix, because I feel like that just the chaos that Phoenix brings in, haha, pun, brings in is going to be kind of a pain point for them. But really, I think that Phoenix is going to, I think I said this last week, is that to go against option 12, you really have to get their rhythm off kilter. Like, they're very, very particular of how the game goes, and if they misstep, that's when they start falling apart. Before I go into that even further, Huge, what about yourself? What do you think about picks for tonight?
I think option 12 will have some pretty standard picks. They I know that each lane kind of has their own thing, which they have at least one champ that you might want to get out of the way, so it's going to be kind of you kind of have to choose what you want to deal with. But that being said, they're also have pretty deep champ pools, everybody in their lanes. So if something didn't work that they're used to playing, it's not like it'd be weird to see something that that they do really good on that we haven't seen before. As for Phoenix, they have I think a lot of their win condition is around having good team fights and just getting off some crazy wombo combos, which can really throw option 12 like out of their zone, like you said, which could be really influential and really important. So
for sure. Yeah, getting on to that a little bit more, I firmly believe that Phoenix is really going to have to pull something out of their butts for tonight, and what other team is going to do that? But Sig, since you're with me with Phoenix, I kind of said my piece about it. What do you think that Phoenix needs to be doing here tonight to get that win?
I don't think they need to do anything differently. If we look at the past 4 splits of some of the most competitive play in League of Legends history, at this roster that we have right now, that is Phoenix, you have by and large one of the best team comps ever assembled. They demonstrated that to a T and shown exactly why they're going to take the victory last week versus Blitzkrieg. Blitzkrieg, fast, hard-hitting team, very aggressive early. Huge opportunity for for them to actually be here, but they're not. Great play, but they're not here. Why aren't they here? Because Phoenix know how to play early. They know how to play late. If they get themselves in a position like they did, where they were down how many towers, where they were fighting a Garen off the Nexus and then come back and win, that's not just good late game play. That's quintessential championship level gameplay. And though I think Option 12 deserves all the kudos in the world for being the late game masterminds, they need to take some things out of this Phoenix book tonight if they're intending on coming back. But I don't see that happening. This is Phoenix's night. There's no rising from the ashes. Last split's champions. This split's champions.
All right. Well, really quick now. Huge and Chaos 6. I'll leave it to you guys to say a little bit of a final piece for Option 12 because we're getting there. Option 12. What do they need to do? Huge, let's start with you.
I think they need a ward. I know I looked at their stats and I saw that they had the absolute lowest warding stat out of all the teams. So I think that's really important, especially against a team like Phoenix, who has a lot of their play is getting that wombo combo off and getting those teams kind of to kilter off and to get lanes ahead. So I think that would be a good start.
Okay. KSX, what about yourself?
Yeah, so Huge kind of made a good point there. Their vision score is the lowest, but they're also the first in most objectives taken throughout the season. They're first in first towers, total towers, first dragons, total dragons. It just goes down the line. They're first or second in most of those. So while their vision might not be good, they don't need it because they just keep killing everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's just going to continue.
I will give that to Option 12 too. They might have the lowest vision score, but I've seen it throughout the series, the split, that really when they do have their vision, they put it down on what really matters. Mm-hmm. And it seems like that it's almost like they have a sixth sense of knowing what the team is going to be thinking, and also just getting that early point to it as well. But with that, so we got 2 on the analyst desk for Phoenix. We got 2 on the analyst desk for Option 12. Even Stevens. It's probably going to be an even Stevens match. And we will be getting this off the ground as soon as we get the magical chairs of placement going on. So,
while we're waiting, if we have an extra second,
go for it.
I want to shout out to everybody that participated in our pre-game 1 poll on Facebook. It did have option 12 losing to Phoenix in game 1. I want to pull that up real quick, so just 1 second with me. It looks like it is 7-5 Phoenix right now, and you don't see a lot of the players participating in this poll. I mean, they are, but it's a huge outpouring of people that aren't participating. For those that are joining us tonight, please head over to our Facebook, look it up. It's LCUS, and you'll find similar content to this.
Thank you, Sig. Well, with that, analyst desk is going to go back to the analyst desk. I'll leave it to you, Kenos. It's your show.
All right, here we are then. Thank you, Nickel, for handing that off, and thank you guys all for that great analysis. It seems as though we're about to get ready to go here. Option 12 has indicated that they're all set. Phoenix is not yet. But joining me for casting these games, we have Trufflesaurus. How's it going, Truffle?
It's going great. How about you?
Doing all right, listening to some of that insight from our caster desk. And then we also have Jeff, as always. How's it going, Jeff?
Oh man, I'm so hyped. What a matchup we have here tonight. Gonna be exciting. I'm gonna be loud. I'm gonna be proud. Let's do it.
All right, excellent. So I guess I'll throw the question to you two as well while we're waiting here. Jeff, start with you. Who do you think's gonna win?
Conventional wisdom compels me to say Option 12. I think that they're overall the stronger team. At the same time, what's going to be interesting is that Option 12, they love to do their grouped up pushes, particularly onto inner and inhibitor towers. And when you group everyone together like that, that's when a team like Phoenix, who love with the wombo combo, can catch you out. So there's a win condition for Phoenix that seems perfectly capable of what they like to do. But Option 12 overall, I would say, has a slight advantage. 60-40. I'm going to say Option 12 in 4 tonight.
All right, Truffle, 10 seconds. Who's going to win?
I'm going to give it to option 12 as well, but that's a bit of a bad omen for option 12 because I think the last time me and Jeff agreed on something, they had owned to it.
All right. Well, the big thing to look for right away to start off here is the bans, and they seem somewhat predictable, but also option 12 is going to suffer a little bit here because they haven't banned any mid laners yet. Taking out the Darien and Amumu there.
They do have the option to just play the Anivia, and then they ban Vigar as well. So it looks like they're saying that they're not afraid of anything that Van Hohenheim has as long as they can get Anivia.
Well, they take away the Malphite and the Amumu, which have been so important to Phoenix. They were so much last week against Blitzkrieg, and they're letting them have the Fiddlesticks. So it's like they're saying, Hohenheim, you can Crowstorm all you want as long as we're not locked up infinitely by 2 AoE ultimates before that, we'll be fine.
Right, and 9 Live showed earlier in the split that you can fairly easily take apart the Fiddlesticks combo. And they did it even without banning out most of their combo pieces. So I don't think Fiddlesticks is that big of a threat if other factors have been removed, and it looks like option 12 agrees with that.
Yeah, and just to double down on that, Nine Lives did that with a Zillion in the mid lane, and I know, in past splits, Lysa has shown that he's a very capable Zillion player. So I think that they'd almost like to see a Fiddlesticks at this point.
Well, we'll see what they decide to go with here. Maokai coming out, and Scion, both very predictable top lane picks. And there's the Fiddlesticks. All right.
That's actually interesting to me that you take the Fiddlesticks in that point in the draft, because there's been never any indication that Lysimachus would take it away from you. So you could have waited one more rotation probably for that pick. But maybe at this point they're just willing to show that to try to keep something else a little more hidden for the next pick.
Yeah, that is interesting, and it's also worth noting that we're getting the Ivern pick here. Prowler last week said that he really enjoys Ivern because people don't really know how to play against him. Hopefully Phoenix has put some thought into that.
And a good call out from Truffle right there. Option 12 picking up the Zillion.
And I'm happy to see it too, because Lice plays such a great Zillion, and I haven't seen it in a while, although I think he's brought it out a couple times to split. I just didn't happen to cast the games, that's all.
Big question here now is what else is option 12 ban? Do you target Fat Lee? Do you take Alistar off the board? What do you think they're going to go for?
I do think that taking Alistar off the board is should be something that they should prioritize, because Alonzi Tardis is very good on that champion. Take away the Jarvan though.
I do respect that. I almost expected to see the Udyr ban come through, targeting Fat Lee instead. So I'm wondering if they're going to put both bans on him, or if like Ken was called out, banning that Alistar, which I do think is also very important to do against Team Phoenix.
At this point, I would be stunned if they do not ban the Udyr. I would be very surprised if they ban the Jarvan and not the Udyr.
I am a little surprised by the Lucian ban there. I mean, Ace has played Lucian, but it's not what I would say is one of his go-to ADCs.
Yeah, he tends to like those late game hyper carry, 80 carries, auto attack base, not so much spellcasters. And
Braum
it's
instead.
Braum actually taken away. So
I
Phoenix is going to have their pick of the litter here.
I think they're scared of wombo combos, like we said before. Braum can sort of serve as the same sort of ult as Malphite can for setting things
And the
up.
Cataclysm, of course, from Jarvan.
But we'll see if that comes back to bite them. I think they're letting a little too much get through here.
Nautilus comes through, so both teams proving us both wrong and putting no priority on Alistar, and it certainly is very interesting. I kind of wonder if, a Kog'Maw comes out. Never mind my previous point. That is the ultimate in late game carries.
Ooh, Lux. Nice.
Yeah, this is some Juggermaw composition if I've ever seen it. Got the revive from Zillion, the shields, the brushes.
And I mean, this is something that Ace did very well with in the semifinals last week. We saw his Kog'Maw just absolutely come online and tear people to shreds. I'm really interested with this Phoenix lineup, though.
I really like the Camille pick here. You thought you got rid of the Amumu, the Malphite, the Jarvan, so many AoE lockdown people. You don't think of Camille as being an AoE lockdown because she doesn't stun people or root them with her ultimate, but she makes you stay in an area, and that's all that a Fiddlesticks needs.
All right. So Phoenix committing once again to this very aggressive team fight oriented wombo combo style. And option 12, I'm sure, as we said, we like their macro play a lot. But I like how they work more as kind of like individual units as opposed to in a group. So two very different styles with these lineups. But we'll see.
Yeah,
how
I would agree with that. Phoenix is more the five come together and just try to kill you, whereas option 12, they're the sum of their parts. So we know Lysimachus can hold his own in the mid lane against even the likes of Hohenheim, Greatbeard of Odin, very solid in the top lane. Prowler, probably a top 3 jungler, maybe even the best jungler in the LCUS. And option 12 spot lane, they're perfectly fine doing their own thing. So they're more about winning their respective lanes, doing their respective jobs, and then coming together about 20 minutes in and just starting to push down towers.
And actually, adding to that, I actually really like option 12's comp strategy here, because what it's doing is it's taking the team fight mass AoE stun lockdown combo that Phoenix has put together here, two big frontliner tanks, and it's pairing them up against a very well protected Kog'Maw who is just going to shred every single person on Phoenix. And the only person that they really have for dive to do anything about that is Camille.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think that that's going to be a huge factor in this game, is whether or not Camille can shut down the Kog'Maw.
Yeah. Another interesting thing. Let's remind everyone why Zilean does so well against this Fiddlesticks. The way we typically see Hohenheim work with this comp is he'll lie in wait around a corner somewhere in like the fog of war, and then he will ult on them, kill one person, 2 people maybe, and then die. That's essentially what happens to him. But with Zilean, he can ult, save whoever dies to Fiddlesticks, and suddenly you just started a 4v5 with no questions asked. So that basically removes a lot of the value the Fiddlesticks brings to the board. So we'll see how Phoenix adapts to this, because they have lost to a Zilean in the mid lane before.
Yeah, the ultimates from Hohenheim in this game are going to be so important. He's going to need to get onto the Kog'Maw, because Truffle had talked about how Camille is sort of the only backline threat here. Fiddlesticks can be, but you have to really find the right moment, the right angle, the right wall to jump over with that Crow Storm to make it happen. Camille alone cannot win these fights, because even if she gets onto Ace, Lysimachus is just going to pop that Chrono Shift on him, and then Camille does not have the burst to take him down a second time.
I would be interested to see if Tardis plays this a little more aggressively. He could Nautilus ult in on Kog'Maw. Use his, anchor to pull himself into the back lines. But we'll have to see.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're going into the Nero Skin Showdown, which we'd like to remind everyone is a live-action roleplay organization throughout the U.S. NeroLARPOnline.com for more info on that. First skin showdown of the night. We'll see if anyone has any standout skins. I'm not a huge fan of the skins on most of these champions, so I don't know if I'm going to have any biased favorites except on Sion.
Yeah, I was just looking up and down the lineups, and I don't know. I've always had a soft spot for Candy Cane Misfortune, but
Secret Agent Misfortune instead.
ugh.
Worldbreaker Nautilus is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, with the fact that it's Lumberjack Sion and not Mecha Sion, that there goes half their points right there. I think I'll give it to Phoenix this game, despite Camille not having a skin, even though I really do like Blood Moon Zilean quite a lot.
I'm actually going to give this one to option 12. I like Candy Cane Ivern, Blood Moon Zilean, and Lunar Empress Lux is my favorite Lux skin, so I'm going to go with option 12.
Right.
Yeah, I got to go option 12 just because there's no Camille skin, and I think Charred Maokai is pretty meh.
I would like to say that the Fiddlestick skin, despite the really cool art, does have a rather disappointing in-game model. But that art is just so good.
Yeah, that art is very awesome. But yeah, I think option 12 just on the basis of that they are 5-4.
Oh right, we're in pop star time.
Oh, right. Here we go.
How could we forget? All right, and as we head into this, reminder to everyone, this first game is sponsored by Foster Adventure, that great charity organization we talk so much about, helping teens in care. If you want to donate, fosteradventure.org. All right. So it looks as though people are being a little passive this game. Neither of these teams are that horrifically aggressive early compared to some of the other
Horrifically
teams.
aggressive.
Compared to some of the other teams, you know.
Sure.
Oh, you spoke a little bit too soon because we're going to have a bit of an action. Ooh, they don't go in for it. Okay.
It's kind of funny considering that there was a ward there to spot it, but Fat Lee still got hit by everything.
Well, he got hit trying to place the ward, I think.
Did it have the... Oh yeah, it was hit by the health. Okay. I misread the health in the timer. A lot of emotes coming out.
Yeah.
It's just not the same as that cowbell though, LNZ, I'm sorry.
I mean, Floating Nautilus gets some bonus points there.
Alright, so we'll see what happens. Nice thing about going up against Fiddle Hohenheim is he's not going to try to steal your buffs. So that's good. Don't have to look out for any of those crazy skill shots or anything. But we'll see how this mid lane goes. All eyes are probably going to be on that, but the rotations as well. Fat Lee is going to get spotted here as he's trying to head top, so Great Beard Voden should probably back off.
Now you wonder early on, who's going to be willing to pull the trigger first? It's look like it's going to be Prowler. He's already down here with the red buff. Lands the root. No, Port Swimmer forced to flash away. So that's an early flash forced. Certainly worth it. Now Prowler will just go up and get that Scuttle Crab.
Good snare by Ashway there, but takes a lot of damage for it. So we'll see how this lane goes. Port Swimmer, of course, very good on this Misfortune.
Yeah, signature pick of his. Maybe a collapse coming down onto Prowler here. Hohenheim has rotated from the mid lane already. This could be a big problem. Slingshot comes in from Fat Lee. They've gotten onto Prowler, and down he goes. Quick first blood for Phoenix. They read that perfectly.
And there's the benefit of those wards, because we got a nice little ward right here that spotted that out for him.
I've just realized there's actually 2 trees in this game because it's going to make a timber pun.
That's probably why Great Beard of Odin went with the Lumberjack skin, because he's going against Darien as a tree.
Flash
Ace
gets
actually
forced.
has to burn both summoner spells down in the bottom lane.
Oh,
And
and
here
Camille.
comes Fat Lee. Another hook shot comes in. Ace has no summoners. They flash in for the ignite, and I think the Cogwell will burn down, but they actually get a trade kill. Fat Lee drops. A Cathian surprise won't do anything important.
That was a really good...
Fat Lee making his presence felt.
That was a really good almost save there from Ashway, and LNZ managed to get a kill with Ignite, which is a bit of a rarity sometimes for him. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to change my skin vote from earlier now that I picked up what Odin was doing with that skin. That's clever enough for option 12 to win the skin challenge there.
Oh, a solo kill
Ooh.
for Great Beard of Odin up in the top lane, living up to that Lumberjack name. Down goes the tree.
A lot of summoners being blown early for all of these kills. It's really impressive.
What's impressive to me about Great Beard of Odin's play there is that there was no activity in top lane. In fact, the only thing that even came close was the potential gank against Great Beard of Odin. That was just Cyan out poking and out harassing Maokai.
Yeah, we do have Fat Lee lurking in the bushes here. Lismakis does have both summoners available, so he probably won't be taken out, but let's see what happens here. There's
Oh,
the fear.
another hook shot in
There's
from
the
Fat
silence.
Lee. Oh, Marcus takes the damage despite flashing away. So Fat Lee, 3 successful kill participations already, 4 minutes and 30 seconds into this game.
And Hohenheim did blow flash there as well, so it's not a complete disaster for that mid lane, but still that silence is so powerful. Force Swimmer might die.
Swimmer's in some trouble here. They pull Ace in, but that actually makes the Misfortune back off even a little further. One more auto attack would get it done. Oh, the Caustic Spittle comes out. Ace with the snipe to finish off the Misfortune.
We do have Prowler and Great Beard of Odin possibly also fighting Darien up here. We'll see what happens. Oh, Lismakis has been jumped on again as well. May go down, is feared.
Yeah, the fear will keep him alive.
7
Just
7 hit
barely.
points.
Oh my goodness. That's one of those situations where you miss back when Fear used to send an opponent in a random direction as opposed to definitely just away from you.
No one misses that.
Fiddlesticks players miss that.
Yeah, well,
but
whoever asked their opinion.
Hook lands onto Ashway in the bottom lane. They may have overstayed. Port Swimmer has the strut on, and the Lux is forced to flash away. Light Binding will keep Ashway alive for now. Double up doesn't quite find the right angle.
There's that RNG for you. Yeah, I was hoping Ace was going to turn around and stop that strut, but he seemed more interested in not dying.
seems reasonable. One thing I do want to point out is that Fatley's return gank on Lice was incredibly well timed because it was right after he spent teleport to get back in lane, so that actually really hurt him. Although he's only down a couple CS. In fact, I think he has a bit of a lead once you count the minion wave he's currently working on.
Yeah,
He's getting a lot of damage down on this bottom lane turret.
yeah. With the 2 assists on Hohenheim also, it's not that huge of a disadvantage currently in the mid lane, only 200 gold. So things could be going much worse for Option 12's mid lane right now.
We've actually seen this red buff get passed around like a candy bowl the last few minutes in the bottom lane. I believe it was brought in by Fatley, who went down. Port Swimmer had it, and then Port Swimmer dropped to Ace. Now Ace has it. And this early in the game on an 80 carry, that can be a huge deal, having a red buff.
Yep, we're seeing some of that burn damage affect Port Swimmer already. Has to fall back there. Ooh, Hohenheim's roaming. Do have that Cloud Drake, so that won't necessarily be a huge thing there. Oh, Ace getting chased here. See what happens. Level 6 is available, but Fiddlesticks isn't the best at just ulting randomly in fights.
Yeah, it looks like they won't even need the ult to take down Ashway. Now Ace trying to turn it around. The Hohenheim pops that faithful barrier, but here comes Great Bear of Odin. What a great roam from the Option 12 top laner. Trades one back immediately. Lysimachus is here. One more auto attack could get Hohenheim. He will run away. Ace gets it with the W. It's a double kill. This Kog'Maw is 4-1 online and looking to run away.
A lot of really great small plays there. Lysimachus rotating down, of course, was excellent, but I'm going to hope that LNZ TARDIS intentionally walked in front of Greatbeard of Odin to stop that charge, which could have gotten a lot worse for them.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. A good point.
And then Fatley died to minions, but we didn't see that. So. Alright, so early dragon here, because they got that huge sweep in the bot lane. Everything looking pretty good for Option 12 right now, though the gold lead doesn't quite indicate that.
Yeah, for me, Option 12, they have survived some pretty solid play from Phoenix so far. Fatley has been making his presence known quite a bit, other than the execution that we had just talked about. But Option 12, they've had the counterplay. That was an amazing call to have Greatbeard of Odin come down to the bottom lane with the ultimate there and really turn around what could have been much worse for Option 12 in the bottom lane.
One important thing to note, though, is that the fact that Phoenix is as far ahead as they are, and they're going to try to steal blue here, or not as far ahead as they are, but as equal as they are, I should say. They have 2 towers that are relatively weakened on Option 12's side. Bot and top are both far weaker, and they're going to grab Prowler here as well.
And yeah, Prowler just gets destroyed. No chance. They burn 2 flashes to take him down, but this blue buff will be assured, and Greatbeard of Odin is going to have to respect the fact that there are 3 people on his side of the map in the jungle.
But yeah, even if Option 12 sort of has the momentum after that last fight, I think that Phoenix, if they manage to get enough of a lead, will be in a much better position because they've made such progress on those objectives.
And here we go. Greatbeard of Odin did not respect it. There's 3 members up here. The Fear starts it off. Fatley is there. He does have the ultimate available to lock in this Scion. There it comes down. Scion is extremely tanky, but not enough. Fatley, another kill. And this Camille is getting strong enough that even though the Kog'Maw is 4-1, it could end up making the difference.
Scion did have ult available, but decided to... they did block him very well. I might have tried to go down the river instead of trying to get back to my turret. But I'm sure they would have been able to predict that as well. You kind of know how to angle yourself when you're chasing a Scion. Ace has to run
Option
as
12
well.
are getting a really good push down this mid lane, though. Using Daisy, they've got another fresh minion wave here, and they may actually get the turret. First turret does still go down on Phoenix, though, and actually Ace, he may have stepped too far forward. Depth charge comes out. There's the bullet time. The Kog'Maw is able to get away under the damage, has to burn the flash. Meanwhile, turret did go down in the mid lane.
Fortstormer gonna
so
go
much
down.
action all over the map.
Odin ran all the way down lane, and they're going to get LNZ as well here since he does not have flash available.
Yeah, root lands onto TARDIS. He's just going to dredge line to delay himself a little bit longer, but Ace now with 6 kills. It's a dirty half dozen for the Kog'Maw 10 minutes in.
I also kind of liked Lismakis predicting LNZ a little bit there. Flash was not available, but he was sitting right there waiting for it to happen just in case. But everyone's taking objectives all over the map here. We have Phoenix having taken 2 towers, now going for the Guardian. 2 turrets for option 12 as well.
Yeah, Rift Herald to go down here. Man, yeah, there's just been so much split action. Everybody making plays all over the place. Phoenix, they're going to have that Eye of the Herald to potentially push down one more turret. They do have a slight gold lead at this point, but a 6-1 Kog'Maw right now in that bottom lane. Option 12, we saw them putting their eggs into this Juggermaw basket, and that basket is looking mighty good right now.
Yep, absolutely. And it's also worth noting another Cloud Drake is coming up, so there won't necessarily be that much in terms of an offensive boost for this Kog'Maw this game, which can also be to his benefit, though, because that means that there'll be less of a way for Phoenix to get that little extra edge of damage on him.
Sure.
But we're seeing option 12 do option 12 things. They are currently pushing top because they have this, you know, game knowledge and momentum here. See if they can get a 3rd turret without any contesting. Looks like they'll be able to.
Yeah, it looks like it will be absolutely free. So option 12 set to take a slight gold lead here as soon as this turret goes down. There's no counter threat onto a different turret from Team Phoenix. At this point, you know, Truffle, where do you expect both teams to send their focus now?
Well, what I think has happened, in fact, it is immediately Rift Herald gets channeled in bot lane. I do like this reaction. It was one that I was thinking that they might mention. Ult immediately comes out on Prowler.
Yeah, Prowler gets caught within the Hextech ultimatum, and the root does land from Darien. That's an easy kill. The Ivern stepping way too far behind enemy lines, maybe trying to interrupt that Rift Herald push too much. Back come option 12, but I don't think they'll be able to catch anything in return.
Odin's going to have to start building some train tracks down here in the bot lane. He's used his all three times in this bot lane.
And Marcus actually getting a bomb down. I thought that option 12 might try to collapse on the 2 members of Phoenix there, but oh, Dredgeline lands onto Marcus. He gets rooted up as well. He is going to be able to get the Chrono Shift off just in time, but I think he will still go down. He's too far forward. Oh, is able to burn the flash, and Ace is raining out so much damage. That's a 6-1 Kog'Maw on top of a double bomb stun, and option 12 turn it around just like that.
They just got shredded. Holy cow. Two of their tankiest members, it was Camille and Nautilus, who's their tankiest member, immediately died. Ringage comes out though.
Hohenheim though with the Crow Storm in. Final spark from Ashway tries to answer, but the bullet time will pretty much shut down that entire fight. Everyone from option 12 runs away. Hohenheim able to trade 1 back, knowing that Chrono Shift was down. So both teams fending off big aggressive moves in the mid lane. Boy, is this game exciting and pretty even.
Hohenheim's use of barrier saved him once again from those artillery shots from Ace. Making that spell count every time.
And just in case you thought this, never mind. I forgot that that's a spectator thing. I was gonna mention it's infernal, but it's not. It's good spot. But
and Ace did just now finish the Rage Blade, actually. Oh, TARDIS goes in, trying to get the Ignite down onto Ashway, but the shield comes back, and actually I think that this Nautilus is going to drop to the turret. Too much aggression.
Oh, good heal.
Forces heal out from Fort Swimmer. And Fat Lee goes back in, trying to get... Oh my god, Ace's damage is just outrageous at this point. An easy double kill for the Kog'Maw, who just finished the Rage Blade. And option 12... This has been an even game, but when you see a 9-1 Kog'Maw at this point, there's not much you can do.
Yeah, Lismakis' double bombs have been absolutely insane. This is a combo that I'm surprised Option 12 hasn't done more before, and I'd like to see them do more again, assuming it gets through the ban phases. But with a 9-1 Kog'Maw, they probably won't.
Yeah, just to put a little bit more weight behind that, Ace's Kog'Maw has well over has 2,500 more gold than the next highest player.
Batley uses the Hextech Ultimatum to get onto Greatbeard of Odin. Here come the roots from Darien, but I don't think they're going to be able to catch onto this Scion, and it'll be a second Quadrate going over for free to the side of Option 12.
Yeah, really good attempt by them to stop that split pushing, but Greatbeard of Odin is just committing to it because that's what he does now that we're past 15 minutes.
It was kind of a fun interaction too. Fatley got the Hextech Ultimatum off in time, but just because of how fast Odin was moving, Fatley got moved like halfway down the lane, so there wasn't any follow-up potential.
Winyan's taking a lot of damage to this top lane turret, though, so at least Phoenix does still have a bit of potential to get back on these turrets.
Yeah, that was a massive wave that just crashed into that turret, and you mentioned the turret damage, but also the amount of minions that were just lost for Option 12 in that wave.
Ace just eating them alive, getting back up on his CS lead, or trying to regain a CS lead. But I mean,
yeah, the CS numbers in this game are very interesting. You're looking at Hohenheim with only 62 CS at 16 minutes.
Yeah, with all the champion battling action going on here, it's not that surprising. But it does make the game feel like it's been a lot longer than it actually is. Just all the back and forth so far.
Yeah, neither team has looked like they're shying away from making aggressive moves here. Everybody willing to pull the trigger. Just because this is finals doesn't mean you have to play nervous.
Looks like there might be a rotation here up to the top lane. Darien and LNC can hang out. Nope, they're just going to go back to their corners.
Interesting to me that Fatley is still taking blue buff at this point in the game. That should have been, what, the 4th blue buff of the game already. And not handing it over to the mid laner. Fatley jumps in on a Greatbeard of Odin, tries to get some damage down, does have double buffs, but the Scion should be able to just get to the blast cone and launch himself away from the situation.
Yeah, he's really been using that Righteous Glory well to just kind of make sure people don't chase him any more than they can. Infernal is the next Drake to come up, so now there will be that slight damage tick. Of course, the one thing to keep in mind is we've talked about this 9-1 Kog'Maw quite a lot, but if he gets picked off at the start of a fight, that goes all of Option 12's gold, essentially.
Oh, yeah. And all of their damage. I mean, we've talked about Lesmachus landing good double bombs, but once that's on cooldown, Zillion really doesn't do much for the fight. So if the Kog'Maw goes down, I mean, that's how a Juggernaut comp works. It's all about the Kog'Maw. Can the Kog'Maw stay alive? Easy kill onto that bottom lane turret.
Darien does use that ult a little early there, so everyone else has to retreat. Hohenheim was spotted as well.
That's a ton of damage that's going down onto the Maokai right there, just from one snare, already taken down to half health. Ace is so far ahead of the curve right now that he is shredding tanks that he has no business shredding.
Also shredding turrets. I'm interested to see if Port Swimmer will be able to get a good ultimate here to scare everyone away. He's trying to do it, but he has to respect Cosmo's range and damage, not to mention Ashway's. So let's see what happens here.
With the Unstoppable Onslaught being available, it's tough for the Misfortune to set up. They do get a hook down onto Ashaway. The Lux is snared up, and there goes Darien into the backline. They are desperately trying to get on to this Kog'Maw, but Ace is staying alive. He will get the Chrono Shift alive, and he will come right back. That's 4 gone. It's going to be 5. Port Swimmer goes down. This is going to be game 1, I think, already for Option 12.
This is gonna be quick, 20 seconds.
Yeah, 20 seconds on the death timers, but this would be a sub 20-minute game if they do pull this off. I'm not sure that they have enough time, to be honest.
It will be close. Yeah, they're going to get 1 Nexus turret, but Option 12, they are a disciplined team as well, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them respect things, go away, but no, not at all. Hohenheim is back up, but no Crowstorm available. So what can the Fiddlesticks do in this situation? Darien and Tardis, they're trying to get in the back line, and they do catch once again onto Ashaway, but that's not the target you want. Ace is just burning down Hohenheim, forced to use the stopwatch just to stay alive from the W damage of the Kog'Maw, but he burns down to Mill. Darien is all that's left. They will finally fend off this push as Port Swimmer shows back up. Greatbeard of Odin might get a kill on the back. No, nice job from Darien to snare him up. So Phoenix, they fend off the push for now, but Option 12 in the driver's seat and no
caution whatsoever. They are happy to put that pedal to the metal.
That port swimmer triple kill could come into play, though. That's going to be the influx of gold that he needs to get back onto the same level as Ace.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll put him back at the same level, but it will make him at least something that has to be respected and feared from the front line of option 12.
Yeah,
With an open Nexus now, though, and a 13-2 Kog'Maw, it would be shocking, to say the least, to see this go any other way. Darian has teleported to the top lane. He is all alone over here, and one single pick right now is huge when you're this far behind.
Well, speaking of huge, there are no Nexus turrets, and they're going to have to deal with super minions, and they don't have a ton of damage to do that with. Exactly. Port Swimmer has to go back here to deal with this wave. They're down Darian. That makes it a 3v5, and option 12 is more than happy to take a free Baron off the back of that.
Ace going
Ace
after
is-
Fat Leech.
Yeah, just trying to keep that Camille away. Uses up the Blast Cone. Camille, as we know, does still have ways to get into that pit. And Hohenheim does have Crowstorm available. So Phoenix, maybe this is their last chance to make something happen.
And we'll see 5,000 health on this Baron. They actually are...
Tardis just gets annihilated over the wall, though. Oh, now Hohenheim's getting destroyed. Ace, my goodness. This Kog'Maw's damage is so scary.
Oh, a lot of good misfortune damage, though.
Yeah, bullet time won't quite do enough. It's going to be up to Fatley to get in there with the steal. He gets down the precision protocol, but can't find the smite. Prowler secures it. Option 12. They do get the Baron. Now the Camille will drop to a bomb. Darian into the backline, but that's not really going to do anything.
Super Minions
Super
trying
Minions
to win
on
the
the
game
Nexus.
for him.
Oh, Super Minions might just win the game. It's, what, 2v, the Super Minions, not to mention 4 Baron Up members of option 12.
Something I just noticed about this team, which I'm sure someone else did before me, is that this is a team that, for option 12s, that just doesn't really die. You've got Kog'Maw's passive, you've got Scion's passive, you've got Zillion's ult. They're all death enhanced champions.
The zombie comp.
Right. Well, we'll see what happens here. As you said, 4 enhanced members, and Scion's coming. Just going to push down this mid lane. Let's see if they're able to close it out here, or if Phoenix can continue to hold the line.
Man, this is a push where, like, we all talk about option 12 and their patient macro play and all that jazz. Just push bot. Just push the open nexus. You are up so much gold right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's the
Darian
problem.
goes down to just a couple stray shots from the Kog'Maw and a bomb.
This is the smart play, though. You know, you have a 15-2 Kog'Maw. You don't want to wait for the late game.
No, you're correct. It is the correct play. Hohenheim goes in. He's trying to get the Crowstorm damage down, but Prowler is just able to cut away from it. Ace is untouchable right now. A double kill goes down. That's the entire front line. It's only Fatley and Portsmouth are alive. Won't matter. Nexus drops 1-0 option 12, making it look easy early on in this series.
That was that was a textbook example of how to beat Phoenix, basically.
All right, let's
Yeah,
check
there
it.
was never a chance for the Wombo combo to come through, and even if it did, I mean, Ace, as you pointed out earlier, Truffle, 13,000 gold in that game, a 23-minute game. Crazy stuff.
Just 2,000 damage advantage, though, on that Kog'Maw. Misfortune's damage can be insane, and some of those ultimates were pretty great, too. All right. Excellent. So we do have that first game then under wraps. I'll leave the score screen up for a little bit here, as we'll be hearing from our caster, or our analyst desk here in a moment. We do have Nickel here in with us. Nickel, are your analyst friends joining us?
Oh, yes. I just gotta drag them by their coattails. But, whew. Alright, there's everybody.
All
What
right.
a game. What a game to start off the match. I feel like I'm seeing some deja vu from last week from casting. It seems like that we got a short game out of the way. Hopefully we'll see some longer games going forward. But I'll leave it to, since you guys hear my voice all the time, I'll leave it to everybody else on the analyst desk. We'll start with Sig. Sig, a couple of words.
Apple, tomato, basil. Those are a couple words. Now, if you're wanting some informative calling, I'm ready to give that as well,
Nah,
folks.
I need more words.
Uh, um, being real with you, that was a textbook proof of the option 12 that everyone is scared of. That's the boogeyman that's hiding under your pick and ban every night that your mom has to come in and cut the bed light on for the night light on for. Decisive win, effective execution of the comp they were trying to do. This was definitely earned one Michelin star in terms of feeding potential. They fed the Kog'Maw so well. Just somebody compliment the chef. Incredibly well done.
You heard it from Sig. Tell your mother to look for the Cogmos underneath your bed. Chaos 6, what about you, my friend? What did you think of that game?
Well, all I can say is Chaos 6 needs new shorts because that Kog'Maw was scary. And that is exactly what I was expecting to see Option 12 do. I'm completely unsurprised they won that game. It looked like Phoenix was kind of tilted halfway through that.
Yeah, I tend to agree, and we were kind of talking about that in the analyst test, that it seemed like that it was just Tilt City. Tilt.com, as Sig put it. Huge. What about yourself? What did you think of the last game?
Yeah, so I think Option 12's comp really paid off. It served its purpose, protecting the Kog'Maw. It allowed the Kog'Maw to get ahead. They got the gold on the Kog'Maw, which is what they needed. I think Phoenix did a lot of things well, especially in the beginning of the game. They had a lot of kill pressure early in the game within like the first 4 minutes, which was crazy. But they just couldn't capitalize it and put it towards any value for their team, which was unfortunate, but it was good.
Yep, Protect the Kog'Maw was indeed the name of the game. I'll give my little 5 cents about it. Honestly, Option 12 was just playing the name of the game, not League of Legends, as they usually do. And I was actually kind of surprised. It seemed like that it was even Stevens. We had an early bloodbath going from the beginning of the game. I was actually fully expecting for Phoenix to get a little bit ahead, but it was just tug of war, and then Option 12, as soon as that Kog'Maw got turned on, that is when the name of the game changed. And
I'm not going to disagree with you, but let's hop off this hype train for a second. It was very effective vision monitoring for the jungle. They dominated Prowler the entire time till they left laning phase and went into team fights. This was Phoenix's game. Make no mistake. And unless Option 12 follow up with another solid Wombo-y team comp kind of cheese factory, they need to be terrified of what happened the first 10 minutes of that game, and they need to prepare for it and take care of it and pick and ban. That Camille, I'm not gonna. I'll give them the opportunity to talk about it, but this was a huge opportunity for them to see exactly what they need to be scared of. And if Option 12 want to keep this winning up, they need to shut it down quick.
Mm-hmm. That brings up a good question then, Sig. What do you think is going to be for the pick and ban phase? Do you think that they're going to ban out the Kog'Maw? Do you think they're going to pick the Kog'Maw for themselves?
I don't think it's smart to pick out the Kog'Maw if you don't have experience playing it, because if the comp isn't executed well, you might as well be surrendering at 15. But I don't think that'll be the case. I think it'll be banned out, and then we'll see more comfort picks banned away. I think Phoenix have a very clear path forward for them to actually come back. This is nowhere near over.
Well, we'll see what happens with that. We'll cut the stream for just a second and then move into Game 2, 12 versus Phoenix. Don't go anywhere.